Alright, so I rolled a new character today, and after a decent amount of setup, it's in an acceptable state. You could definitely do it for a lot cheaper than the setup I have. I kind of skipped a lot of steps and didn't read any part of those skills until like 3 hours into setting up the character, so yeah. The early stages of the character, if you're doing it on like a budget, definitely a little painful. It's not the most amazing build of all time, but if you actually read what the skills do, unlike me, but I mean, I know most people aren't going to do that, because that's, why would you ever do that? Probably make it work a lot sooner and less divines. But anyways, you basically just poison everything and it dies using spiral volley for clear. And then the single target, basically you use vine arrow and then you poison it with poison burst arrow. You shoot it like 4 times to get all the poisons on it, or however much your max poison is. Mine's 4. Yours might be a little different. Shoot at that for the max poison. And then you use your acidic concoction, which normally a lot of people have this preconception that it's garbage, and they're right. But guess what? There is a bug for it right now, which makes it crazy. Not that crazy compared to a lot of things in the game, but it's pretty damn good. I'll show you here whenever I find the boss, but you can see the clear, very smooth. I mean, you just kill everything. Now, I looked at a few other people playing the build. They all used Serpent's Egg for the amulet. Honestly, don't think it's really necessary. I sustain Frenzy is good enough for it. It's not perfect, but honestly, I don't really think you need it to be perfect, because it clears good enough. I mean, as you can see. It would be a little bit smoother with Serpent's Egg, but honestly, I didn't really notice much difference. I think getting a good rare amulet with projectile skills and whatever is much better. And yeah, there you go. Hey, what is that? Why did that tink? Wide belt. What is that? Burn buzz. What? I don't even know what that is. Anyways, there you can see the damage. Pretty good. I will kill any pinnacle here with ease at this point, though you can kind of mess it up. And now for today's sponsor, Loot of Bale. Are you an ARPG fanatic? Do you have Zoomer brain? You wish you could play multiple ARPGs all at the same time? Well, now you can. Literally at the same time. Loot of Bale is an idle desktop game where you can farm loot while performing other tasks like farming maps in another ARPG. There is multiple view modes to make it as smooth as possible, overlay it over your game, over your desktop, or even have it as a side window over your screen. Farm gear and level up your heroes to face harder monsters to get better loot to fight harder monsters in true ARPG fashion. Hire new heroes from the tavern and complete missions for loot rewards. You might also find some familiar mechanics like rune words. Check out the link in the description to play Loot of Bale on Steam now. Alright, so the way the build works is acidic concoction, this is your single target. Acidic burst, enemies lose life equal to 150% of the expected remaining damage of the consumed poison. So this is not scalable. It doesn't scale with any supports or anything. So this allows us to just stack giga attack speed, get additional proj for free. This 40% less damage does not do anything to the damage. So we throw a bunch of projectiles, right? If you aim at your foot, they all shotgun. The magnified area for more AoE, because the less area damage doesn't matter. prod speed. You kind of run out of support gems to use. You could use like Hulling Strike there, I guess. A little bit more damage. And then Rigwald's Ferocity. And it needs to be on weapon set 1 for more attack speed. You can also swap this into your other stuff for like Spiral Volley if you need a little bit more damage or something. But yeah, that's Acidic Burst. And then Vine Arrow. You shoot the Vine Arrows down, and then you poison the enemy when they're on top of it. And then the Vine Arrows also get the poison. Once you're at your max poisons, which is probably like 4, so after like 4 attacks, you will hold down your concoction and just blow them up. Now, that interaction is a bug in a way. Vine Arrow, when it's poisoned and you use acidic concoction, it does not consume the poison from Vine Arrow. Well, it does. For all the damage purposes, it does. But it doesn't actually fall off Vine Arrow. The poison will be on the Vine Arrow until the Vine Arrow disappears. So it allows you to just hold down your concoction until they're dead pretty much. You do want to aim to be able to kill pinnacle bosses. If you do want to do pinnacle bosses, you're going to want to aim to kill them in 1 mana flask, like entirety. Because if you run out of charges like this, you're done. You can't use it anymore until you wait for it to recharge over time, which is not great. And then you can get I don't have one right now because I'm lazy, but oh, there you go. Try and get a mana flask with as many charges as possible. I think 120 will be the max. So that just gives you way more uses. It would give you, I mean, a little under double my current attacks. So that would be very good if you don't have the damage. Personally, I have the damage to kill everything. But if you don't, and I didn't at the start of the build because it was kind of scuffed. But yeah. Definitely do that. And now going into, I guess I'll just go over the skills because I've already kind of started talking about it. Poisonous Burst Arrow. Rapid attacks, so you can shoot faster. Prolonged Duration, because duration gives us more damage. Then Conk Area. The area doesn't matter, we're not clearing with it, so just the damage. Voluntal's Embrace gives 20% of Fizz as extra chaos, and the skill is basically all Fizz for the most part. There's probably something better to use. Is that actually? There might be something better there. That might be the scenario where you swap Rigwald's into here if you need more damage. Defy is very, very good if you were using the Constricting Command. Because you are always considered surrounding with this, so Defy is very, very good, but I'll get to the helmet later. Toxic Growth, I'm actually not using. Barrage, I'm not using. Vine Arrow, Magnified Area, Rapid Attacks, Slow Potency, Overabundance, so you can use more than one of them. And then Prolonged Duration, once again, we're not trying to scale the damage of this at all. Spiral Volley, this is our main clearing skill. Bursting Plague. Armor Break. This is so you can actually get charges, and you need charges for Spiral Volley. Frenzy charges to do more damage and more chain, which is very, very good for clear. Corrosion. You need Corrosion because of this. It breaks armor. You get charges when you break armor. Poison. You just get more chance to poison and more magnitude. Defy. Hack damage is lucky. I already went over that. Poison 3. I don't know if I have any bleed. I was using bleed earlier. I was actually using Herald of Blood, but I didn't really feel like I was getting much from it. This is still work in progress, so I might have to re-look at that. And then for auras, we got Wind Dancer. I should probably stick some supports in there like AoE maim and blind, but you know. Ghost Stance, I got precision and compressed duration. That makes it so you get the shrouds faster with the less skill duration. Withered Presence, it applies withers, more skill duration, so it lasts longer. And then +1 supported skills. Herald of Plague, I just have +1 skills on it. Not really too many sports you can use with that. Now, for the gear, we got Obliterator Blood. Anyways, this base is the base you want to use. It has the highest flat damage amount, and our attacks per second do not matter on this build, really. You just clear the whole screen like this, and I mean, you can get more attack speed if you want, but this is plenty, honestly. And then, actually, you can't even scale attack speed with Spiral Volley, so almost no reason to get attack speed. The only thing that would benefit on attack speed from this is Poison Burst Arrow, which honestly is kind of nice for just getting your damage up faster, but do not get baited by attack speed on the bow, because when you're searching for a bow and you look for a high damage roll, attack speed is going to multiply that. You do not want that. You're going to rip yourself off because this build does not need it. Like, it does not benefit from it. So you're going to want to put in the trade search. You're going to want to cap the attacks per second at 1.15 so you don't get baited by that. Or maybe not all suffixes are great, so... Well, yeah. Just cap it at 1.15. It'll make it easier for you. Technically, you might find a better deal with higher APS, but probably not. Just do 1.15. And then you're going to want +4 level to all skills. One of these bows should run you somewhere from like 2 to 10 divs, depending on how high you want your damage to be. I got mine for 3 div. It was either 2 or 3. And then my rings right now, I'm trying a negative rarity setup. You don't need to do that. And in fact, you'll have way more damage if you don't do this. You can go a Ming's Heart and then a ring with like tons of flat damage. That's probably what I'd recommend. I just wanted to do negative rarity setup for fun. And you'll have way more damage than me if you do that. Then the helmet constricting command requires 5 fewer enemies to be surrounded. Basically, you're always surrounded, and there's a bunch of stat buffs you get from this, like from the 5 with attack damage is lucky. Then down here on the tree, these are like really, really OP nodes. The amulet, terrible base, but honestly, the base doesn't really matter here. The only one that'd be good is like a spirit base if you really need it, but I found this build doesn't really have problems with stats or anything, so I got this one for cheap. I bought this for 2 div. Probably gonna be more expensive for you if you get a good base. So don't be afraid of shit base. This helmet I bought for 6 div earlier. Kadiro's Gambit. This is really, really good for clear. Each arrow fired is crescendo. This gives you 6 chains. Split gives 6 splits. Reversing causes them to return to you, as you can kind of see some of them do there. Diamond, crit. All hits are crit with crit bonus. Covetous is a bunch of rarity. Blunt is stun buildup, so the only one that I guess is not really good is Blunt. And how much is this? I don't remember. 2 annuls, so like probably 1 div. Yeah. Then I'm using Plague Finger with 2 magnitude of damaging elements you inflict on this. So here is where these are like a really budget option. These gloves are really cheap, so if you're poor, you're gonna use these. If you're not poor, you're gonna get Original Sin for a ring, and you're not gonna go the negative rarity setup. And that should overall be a better setup. But honestly, these, like, I have enough damage to do everything already. So, you know. And then here, Chavron's Satchel. We got Life from Flask supplies the energy shield. Tomorrow I'm probably going to buy a Headhunter. You can also use an Ingenuity if you want to get more negative rarity. I probably wouldn't recommend it outside of that. This belt is really good for defense, though. Helps you sustain a lot of your energy shield. Boots here I'm just using for tons of res, energy shield, movement speed. Something you do, maybe you want to think about on your boots. I'll probably do this when I continue upgrading the character. I mean, honestly, there's really no reason to. You're going to want to get your boots to have increased duration of ailment, jewels on it. You're going to want to base type with as many rune sockets as you get. So exceptional base, corrupted for 3. Probably going to be expensive, but you can, I guess, probably not going to be able to get one corrupted yourself. So get an exceptional base, even if it's like a little worse, if you want to get more damage. And then uncorrupted with 2 sockets. And then you can use essence of something for Essence of Horror for increased effective socketed items. You'll get a ton of duration for your poison using this. And then let me double check here if you can also do that on gloves, because also on gloves, very, very good with the magnitude here. I haven't really looked this far into it, so let's see. Oh yeah, you sure can. So you're gonna want to do that on your gloves too. Obviously, then you're gonna have to go original sin, but that'd be very, 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 very good for damage. Not that you really need it, but you know, number go up, I guess. And then the jacket just got evasion rating, energy shield, and then I tried to get some deflect rating on it. And the faster start of energy shield regen is like, okay, I guess. That's gonna really come more into play if you're not using Satchel here. If you're not using Satchel, then you're relying purely on Ghost Stance. But the faster restart will help you out a little bit more. And then my charms, I'm using a slow charm, an amethyst charm because I'm not chaos capped. And then rite of passage. Honestly, these are all really OP. I think there is one for poison, and that's probably the one you want to use. But pretty much any rite of passage is very good. And then passive tree, I'll go over here. Ascendancies, I've got acidic concoction, obviously. Life flasks are not removed when unreserved life is filled. Most damaging poison you said is spread. I'm losing it. Your speed is unaffected by slows. Yeah, I'm not really going to give you the order here because I don't recommend starting this from scratch. I mean, you can do it, but if you don't have game knowledge to figure out which nodes to click first, I'm telling you, you're going to have a bad time. And anyways, on the tree, I'll point out the important things. So the first thing is obviously these nodes. I went over it earlier, but surrounding, constricting, command, cap, very, very good. Very, very good value. These nodes are just crazy. I mean, look at that. 100% increased attack damage. Just, I mean, insane. Ton of movement speed, ton of dodge roll. Like, my dodge roll is insane. I go, like, half the entire map. Evasion, evasion, evasion. Okay. You also get a lot of good jewel sockets down here. And jewels. Energy shield on it is good. Then like stun threshold or ailment threshold. Magnitude of ailments or apply ailments faster. Or poison goes faster. I'm using this. This is like 30 div. This is not cheap. I dropped this actually on my first SFHC character on the like first abyss I did. So yeah, level 53 GG. So it was free for me. I should probably divine it, but Then other important things here, we have Oasis. If I know where the jewel is. Not that one. You know, I really should have get rid of these guys. I'm sorry. Defeated. Where did I put the jewel? Where did I put the jewel? There it is. From nothing, passive and radius of Oasis can be allocated. You get a bunch of damaging elements faster, some evasion. It very, very OP. This is like a 5x item as well. Giga cheap, huge value. You need this. Yeah, it's too good to not have it for how cheap it is. And then up here, Troll Metamorphosis. This one, if you can't afford it, I'd probably just path up through here. It's not terrible. It's got like decent damage still. So pathing up here and dropping some stuff is not the worst. You can probably just drop some defense nodes or something. But ideally, Control Metamorphosis with good rolls here. In a medium to large ring, hit this, this, and this. Very good. And then here, more Frenzy charges for Spiral Volley. Good. Honestly, might drop those. Might drop those without Serpent's Egg. I don't think you need them. Might free up a little bit on the tree. Then all these poison nodes, very good. Magnitude of poison, +1 poison is very good. Skill effect and poison duration both very good. They directly skill our damage. +1 poison. There is reduced duration here, but it's still worth the +1. And then a bunch more poison duration. Then that's about it. There is here increased magnitude of damaging elements. I think I will drop here and grab that. I think that is a decent play. And then resonance, good node. Convert your endurance charges into frenzies, which is required for Spiral Volley to actually clear good. And then I do have 2 weapon sets here. Weapon set 1 is for Concoction, and that is all of the red ones. I basically just have a ton of attack speed. This node's very good. 15 attack speed, well, not on low mana, and your Concoction doesn't cost mana, so. And then, yeah, just basically grabbing attack speed stuff for the Concoction and then damage stuff for the bow, because, right, once again, your damage does not matter for the Concoction because it is a, like, preset value that is unscalable. 150% of the expected remaining damage of the consumed poison, cannot scale that. And then, anything else? The jewel that gives you plus levels might be pretty nice for Spiral Volley. I forget what that's called. I believe it's from Arbiter. But I'm not 100% sure what it's called at the moment. It's, let's see. Diamond? I think it's the Adorned. Nope. Oh, obviously not the Adorned. But speaking of the Adorned, I think Adorned might be pretty good on this build with a bunch of gems, with a bunch of jewels that have like a much poison magnitude. Probably quite good. Okay, it's gotta be this one. Yeah, there we go. Prism of Belief. Getting a +2 or 3 for Spiral Volley. Probably pretty nice there. How does that not exist? How is there no +3? Well, it's cheap. I don't know how that doesn't exist. I'm gonna grab that. That's crazy.
It's yours.
Yeah, okay. I think that's about it. If you want to see my stats, here you go.